Oh, hello there. My name is Rick.
Ciao. My name is Millie.
And this is season 3?
No, you go episode.
I was right.
Yeah.
Oh, I panicked.
Episode of season.
Yeah. All right, back to it. This is episode 33
33.
of season 3 of Yonks Ago. Oh my God, this is the worst we've ever gone. You'd think after over 100 episodes, over 3 seasons, we would have at least a small idea of how the one bit that's always the same goes.
Yeah.
We don't. That was easily the most embarrassing effort we've ever put in. But I'll stand by it.
Yeah.
That's just season 3, episode 33 vibes.
Of Yonks Ago.
We're improving, if anything.
Season 3, could it be Dolly B? Who is he? Just another bit of history that we're gonna get to know in a brand new little season of Yonks Ago. A father and a daughter putting on a show, finding out about people from Yonks Ago. Y-O-N-K-S Ago. Y-O-N-K-S Ago. Fact or fiction? We don't know. Y-O-N-K-S Ago.
Well, there we go. It should have been one of our greatest introductions.
I think so.
It's so many 3s ready to go.
How many 3s?
3 3s.
Yeah.
The triple.
Yeah.
And I just feel like numerically, everything was in place for us to nail it.
Yeah.
And we did what could only be described as the opposite of that.
I'm pretty sure that was our worst opening that's ever happened.
It was uncertain. It was racked with indecision and failure. And anyone in their right mind would have gone back and redone it.
Yeah. I say that was 10% my fault.
Yeah, look, I'll put my hand up and I'll say I'm disappointed in myself.
Yeah.
And no one else. Look, you were just brought along in my wake of destruction.
I was just struggling with the Italian aspect of it.
Which in many ways is the hardest part. Like that, you could be forgiven.
In the 30s, I'm in the trenches a little bit.
The trenties. You're in the trench.
I struggle.
Trenties.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
I struggle with.
It's almost too good.
I struggle with the rolling of the R's.
Yeah.
And obviously this one had 3.
Yeah.
3.
And then I'm just coming in left, right, and centre, making mistake after mistake, and you're expected to keep it together? I don't think so.
The backbone of the intro.
Yeah.
Like, it's always the same.
Yeah.
My bit changes. I mean,
Yeah.
yours does as well, but
Yeah, but
you didn't mess up on the number, you messed up on the...
I went the season first, and you know what it is. You know what's happened. You know what's got into my head, and I've often thought, why do I do it this way?
Yeah.
Because I introduce it episode this of season this, but when I put the episode up online, the name of it goes season then episode.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I do that. I feel like maybe that's just how I've seen it done in the past.
Yeah, like TV shows.
Yeah. So I'm just being affected by the zeitgeist. And that's what got in my head. I feel like
Fair enough.
that's what tripped me up. Finally, after all the episodes we've done, that one thing that's always been that way tripped me up. And look, Yonky Doodlers, I am what I am. Take me.
It is what it is.
Take me with all my flaws, or don't take me at all.
So true.
And like I said, in many ways, you should be proud of us for not going back and re-recording.
Yeah.
We're comfortable.
We're hashtag be real on this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't put a filter.
No.
We just say this is what we've done. This is how we did it.
Yeah.
Wait, did you just grab your phone so you could do some cheeky checking your socials while we're recording?
No, I was
this?
just in case I got my be real notification.
You reminded
because I said
yourself.
be real.
Yep.
And I was a bit late yesterday.
Yeah. What is your Be Real? Did we talk about this last
No,
episode?
Be Real is like, it's an app. It's like a social media sort of. Mm-hmm. And it like sends you, it's like we're getting promoted.
Yeah. Hey, we are not advertising this. This is just, again, who we are. This is how we roll.
Yeah, and it sends you a notification every day at a random time. You don't know when it's going to come. And then you have 2 minutes to take a photo of yourself and what you're doing.
Yeah.
And, I don't want to miss it today.
No, why would you?
And I just said be real.
And that reminded
it reminded me of the app. So I just wanted to make sure that I could see my phone. So if I get the notification, I can take the photos.
Well, look, Yonky Doodlers, if you also have the urge to be real from time to time, then why not?
Head on over to the App Store.
Head to the App Store and enter the code Yonks Be Real for a discount.
So true. You don't. It's free. It's
yeah, you get a discount of 10% on that free app. You're welcome, Yonksy Doodlers.
You get $10.
I call them Yonksy Doodlers. That's how good I'm going in episode 33 of season 3 of Yonks Ago. Okay, so you've got your phone there ready to go.
Yeah.
First and foremost, to be real if you have to be real,
yeah.
but also just in case Don Bradman starts to bore you a bit, and you're like, I'll just check what's going on TikTok. And who could blame you? But to be fair to Don Bradman, he's trying to dish up some excitement. He nearly died last episode.
So true. Near-death experience check.
He got in the bloody infected one. He had his membrane operated on.
What was the membrane called again, Dad?
Peritoneum or something like that.
I'm never going to remember that, unfortunately.
Largest membrane inside the human body. Lines the cavity of the gut.
It does.
It's doing a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
And if it's not operating well, you're going to have some dispiriting languor.
You're going to die.
Well, it wasn't necessarily that was killing him. It was the fact that they tried to fix it. And when they operated on him, the operation got infected.
Wasn't it the appendix?
Look, I've lost track.
It was they took out the appendix, and in doing so...
Yeah.
In doing so, it caused an infection on the peritoneum.
You can't be expecting us to remember what happened last episode.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Yonky Doodlers.
Because I was asking about appendicitis.
Yeah. Look, it checks out. And I would not rely on myself to remember because I have proven myself very fallible as of late. But he nearly died, according to the newspapers, unless that was just a bit of hype.
Yeah, probably.
trying to sell some copy. But he survived.
True love saved the day.
Yeah, thanks
in the
to
end.
Jessie Bradman, the real Bradman, coming over and saying, "Not on my watch." She sent him a telegram, said, "If thinking of dying, stop."
Yeah.
And he went, "Well," Jessie says, "No, can't die." So he held on.
I mean, he does owe it to her. She's doing a lot of work.
Yeah, most of Don Bradman's work is being done by Jessie, and as we learned in the last episode, Donnie Bradman's got a little bit of dodgy Bradman going on because he became quite ill when he was entertaining a famous lady singer from Bowral.
Elsie.
Yeah, Elsie.
Elsie
someone.
Yeah.
Again, if you want facts, just go listen back because we can't remember most of what we talked about. No apologies. So now we find he's been ordered not to play cricket for at least 12 months.
He's on hiatus.
I don't think he minds so much. If anything, I think he planned it.
Yeah. He never had appendicitis.
Nah, absolute nonsense. So this is where we find Bradman. The Bradmans spent the remainder of the 1990... Not 1990. The remainder of the 1935 summer in Australia in Bowral. Back to Bowral. Then on Anzac Day, 1935, 25th of April. Anzac Day. Get amongst it. 2 up. They began their new life in... Where were they moving? Pop quiz.
Adelaide.
You got it.
Yeah.
You passed them at the heart. I mean, I don't give you enough pop quizzes. Maybe if I did, we wouldn't be struggling to remember all this stuff.
What's the largest membrane in the body?
It's the peritoneum.
Slade. 4 marks.
They moved to Adelaide. They rented a villa.
Oh, hello, Love Island.
Living on that Ashes cash, the cashes. They rented a villa in Kensington Park, which was a quiet suburb of the city.
True.
And then in brackets, a little burn, a little sick burn for Adelaide. There were no loud ones. There were no loud suburbs in Adelaide.
Who wrote this?
This was, Roland Perry.
Roland Perry does not... He's like sucked in at Adelaide.
He's been very businesslike. This whole book has Roland Perry. Hats off to you. But he couldn't resist. Just a cheeky little in brackets jab at Adelaide. Let's see if it continues. He says Adelaide, which was then halfway between a large country town and a major metropolis.
So true.
It's an in-betweenie. It's the tween years for Adelaide. They've never quite got out of that. They've never. Yeah, I'd say they're still pretty much in that zone.
Yeah.
Of between large country town and major metropolis. This suited Jesse and Don to settle down with Adelaide's 315,000 people. That's how many people lived in Adelaide at the time, 1935.
That's some people.
They are scattered between the suburbs and the hills to the east, the Adelaide Hills, the rolling Adelaide Hills.
Yeah, Adelaide Hills.
You've been to Adelaide. What are your thoughts on Adelaide?
I don't really remember much.
You went there mainly for roller derby
Yeah, we didn't really go
duties.
see the sights, did we?
Nah.
Not that I don't know if there are any sights in Adelaide.
In brackets.
Yeah, in brackets.
I don't know if there are any. Close brackets.
Yeah, so I was just in a building the whole time.
Yeah, and you had your game face on. You know, you were running through your mental derby, your derby skills.
Just a classic place, I guess.
Yeah.
Just felt normal, you know?
It didn't give you bad vibes. Oh, actually, I remember like
the water.
many people
The water!
before.
Absolutely terrible. Dirt water. Terrible.
You are not the first person
In
to
the trenches.
have beef with Adelaide water.
Yeah.
I will say it's not as bad as I remember it from when I was a child, but maybe that's just because my taste buds are more dead.
No, I reckon it probably was worse for you.
Surely they've improved it.
Yeah.
Surely.
Yeah.
I think our family has some ties to Adelaide. I feel like my mum's side of the family is
Shout out.
steeped in Adelaide history.
There you go.
Couldn't tell you the specifics of that.
Adelaide.
Number one Yonky Doodler, my mum, probably could flesh it out for us a little bit next time we see her. I'm sure she'll lay down some Adelaide facts.
So true.
So I wonder if my mum feels like, she was happy that Don Bradman moved to...
Yeah.
She obviously, this is well before my mum. Well before my mum was born. Well, don't get upset, Mum. I'm not saying you were alive in 1935. I'm not saying that. But it wasn't long after. I'm pretty...
It was. No.
Hop, skip, and a jump is all I'm saying. Give it a cheeky decade. And you're popping out going, where's the Don? I'm sure.
He's in Adelaide.
Yeah. That's the only reason. She was probably part of the Don Bradman baby boom. As Adelaide got up and about, Don Bradman reinvigorated the town.
So true.
And everyone's like, what a place to live. And the population exploded thanks to the Don Bradman baby boom. There's a Bradman baby boomer.
How many there do you reckon now, Dad?
How many?
In Adelaide.
That's a good question.
I know, just a guess.
So I feel like this was the sort of stuff that was very front of mind when everyone was thinking about vaccinations.
So true. Do you know how many people...
Because I feel like it was 28-ish million in Australia.
Yeah. I remember when Charlie D'Amelio got over that amount and everyone was like, she's got more followers than the population of Australia.
Sucked in Australia. And so for 28 million, I feel like 8 million-ish from memory were in Victoria. Mm-hmm. Again, based purely on vaccination targets. That might be adults, though. I can't remember.
True.
Again, it's getting a little foggy. And then New South Wales will be slightly more than that, you'd think. So give them a cheeky 10.
Yeah, I'd give them a cheeky 10.
So there's 18 million done and dusted. There's only 10 million left to spread around.
Whoa.
You'd say the ACTs and...
2 people?
The ACT, Tasmania and Northern Territory aren't doing much heavy lifting.
No.
Queensland will be doing their bit.
They got to be next highest.
Yeah,
surely.
you'd think around 5 or 6, surely.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't think Adelaide would be too far behind, but I reckon I'd put them just under Queensland.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give them around 5.
Okay.
I'm not going to check it.
No, me neither.
Yonky Doodlers, fact check us if you will.
Yeah.
But I think you can tell from how well we started this podcast, we've definitely nailed that.
Yeah. So Adelaide definitely has 5 mil people.
Yeah. So, but not in 1935.
Not in 1935.
So they've gone from 315,000 to 5 million, mostly thanks to the Don Bradman baby boom.
Don Bradman, indeed.
Yeah. They'd still be, I reckon if not for Don Bradman moving there, probably about 450,000 now.
Yeah.
So Don Bradman caused an extra 4.5 million people to be in Adelaide now, in South Australia now. This is what I'm thinking. I was doing state populations, not city populations.
I was just thinking that. We were going Victoria, New South Wales, Queensland, Adelaide.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to knock a cheeky. I'm going to knock a 800,000 off and bring it down to 4.2 mil.
Okay. There. Wait, but you went from Adelaide to all of South Australia, and you went less.
No, sorry, I'm saying 4.2 in Adelaide. Yeah,
I see.
800,000 scattered around the rest of South Australia.
I got you. I understand.
At a, again, 100% correct.
Yeah.
So Jessie and Don have moved to the sleepy town of Adelaide, and they brought a block of land in Holden Street.
I thought you were going to say they brought their son for no reason.
No kids as yet. Yet. So Bradman started work with Harry Hodgett's broking firm. So it's kind of good that he's been banned from cricket because he can. I was thinking he wasn't really going to do much stockbroking.
Yeah.
He's going to be mostly playing cricket, as I've said. But I guess he's got a chance to really focus on stockbroking. And so he started working there and began to learn the business. Initially, his main job entailed meeting the clients and carrying through what they wished.
Oh, slay.
So it was basically like, what do you want to do? And he's like, I'll do that. And so not making many decisions himself by the sounds of it. No. So he's just, get it done. Get it done, Bradman. Get it done, Bradman. And so he's doing their investments for them. If they tell him to invest, he invests. He had to study the public companies. Oh, a bit of homework for Donnie B. Guess who did that? Yeah. Jessie, 100%. Yeah. He's like, Jessie, I need to know these things. Write me a list. She's got already done it. Already done it, Don. I knew you'd need to know this stuff. She's probably already a qualified stockbroker.
Yeah, I think so.
And he also had to learn. Jessie had to learn to distinguish between speculative stocks and solid stocks. Which are the good ones, which are the bad ones. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So that you can get to the point when someone comes up to you and says, I want to invest in that. You can say, do you though?
Yeah. Are you sure about that?
Yeah. That's when you become a better stockbroker.
I see.
You're not just doing what you're told. You're advising. So they would say to Don, I want to invest in this. And he would say, wait.
Do you reckon he's got an earpiece?
Yeah.
And Jessie's like...
So Jessie's in the back room going, Don, tell him no. Tell him it's a dud.
It's like Singing in the Rain.
Oh, it's 100% Singing in the Rain. Singing in the Rain must have mostly been based on Don and Jessie Bradman.
Yeah, I think so.
It was a subtle swipe at the admiration that people had for Don unknowingly. And what's the main character's name in Singing in the Rain?
I don't remember.
Don.
Really?
100%.
I need to rewatch, actually. It's been a while.
Again.
So, canon, basically.
Yeah. So Singing in the Rain is a swipe at Don Bradman, who was using his wife Jessie. She was the voice behind the curtain, making him look good. So he didn't have to work at the stock exchange himself because Hodgetts had his own full-time jobber on the floor. Didn't have to set foot in there.
Okay.
Just had to know his trade.
Yeah.
Or at least make sure Jessie was on the walkie-talkie. Jessie, I'm going to stop saying that he had to learn stuff. I'm just going to admit that Jessie had to learn stuff. Jessie also had to learn the basic principles of accounting.
Whoa.
Which gave... her the opportunity to develop, facility with figures, which is something Don had always enjoyed, apparently. At 26, Bradman felt he had at last found his niche in life away from cricket. But he was never out of the papers in any discussion of the game. So he wasn't playing cricket, but people are still talking about him.
Yeah, he's too famous.
His long break from the game enabled him to devote his energies to learning the stock... Yeah, we've said that. He applied himself with relish. But
what? The sauce?
So he would be out the back making sandwiches with relish while Jessie's doing the hard grind. Between these times, he played golf. I think this is what he mostly did. He'd show up from time to time, but then after a while, it's like, Jessie, could you just put your Don Bradman cap on? You go there. I'll be at the golf course. So he's playing golf at Mount Osmond Club.
Slay.
With fine views over Adelaide. and he won the club championship.
Whoa.
Classic Don Bradman.
Yeah.
Loves to win. And also has a lot of free time on his hands because Jesse's doing all the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
However, as the winter months of 1935 rolled by, his thoughts turned again to cricket. It was more than a year since he had picked up his bat.
Whoa.
There'd been some jockeying behind the scenes with his boss, Harry Hodgetts, who was a mover and a shaker in the South Australian cricket scene. And he's like, I want Don Bradman appointed state captain.
Whoa.
And I also want him to be a selector.
Oh.
He's just like, Don Bradman is the man. And everyone's like, we cannot argue with you. He is the man. Now, you were mentioning off mic, in between episodes, you were like, when does Don Bradman start doing stuff that to warrant the acclaim?
I was doubting him a little bit because I was like, yeah, he's all right, but he's supposed to be legend.
Yeah, and I will say, I feel like that's partly on me. I've glossed over a lot of his finer moments. We were focusing in depth in his innings when he was younger, when he was, obviously he was flexing as a youngster.
Yeah.
Made a name for himself. And then we focused a little bit on his first forays into state cricket where he was struggling and he wasn't that good. And I think that's kind of stuck in your mind.
Yeah.
And now I've sort of been summarising series. I haven't been dwelling on, he's been top scoring every Ashes series.
I mean,
and
like
he's scoring triple hundreds and double hundreds.
He's good.
He's doing good. But what I've also glossed over, I think, and haven't touched on much, is how dominant he's been at state level. When he was playing for New South Wales, which I think in the Australian public eye, state cricket was much more of a big deal back then because international cricket wasn't much of a thing. England would come out from time to time. But most of the cricket consumption of the day, most of the high profile of cricket, events were state level. It was New South Wales versus Victoria.
Yeah.
And I've glossed a lot over that. And he was absolutely smashing it across the board. So people would come out at state level to see if Don Bradman was in town, they'd go. So he's built up his profile.
Yeah.
And when he comes out to play at state level, he's scoring at, as we've said,
thousands.
And he was there like an entertainment machine.
Yeah.
Back, which we did talk about, how he was playing cricket at a level and at a pace that no one had seen before.
Yeah, yeah.
He was an excitement machine when he was fielding. He was exciting.
Through the fielding.
The times when he was bowling. And he was scoring runs at a rate that no one was used to. And so the general buzz around Don Bradman, apart from the fact that he's had his failures at international level, he's also, he's won series for Australia.
Yeah.
And his name is legend. I don't think I've put that through enough to you, to the point where you are now doubting why do people like Don Bradman?
Yeah. Well, I just didn't know if there was like if he was like if this was still like the introduction.
Yeah.
And he was
he's what's happened here is he's established himself as a star.
Yeah.
But is there more to come? You'd hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there enough to put him? Is this enough to put him into the history books as the greatest ever cricketing player? You'd think at this stage, surely his test batting average is not 99.94.
Yeah.
Which, spoilers, it probably does end up at that level. So you think there's some good innings ahead of him.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry if I've undersold Don Bradman to you, but I do like sinking the boot into Don Bradman. And so I have underplayed him a little bit.
Yeah.
So sorry about that. But so this is why, look, he's come to South Australia. They're saying make him state captain, make him a selector.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, why not? And so he's made the captain, and when they get back to state cricket, he picks up the bat again and he's straight back at it. He's an excitement machine once more. And he's dominating for South Australia. His captaincy, everyone loves him out there. It's one of the more successful transfers that you'll see.
Yeah.
And the number one cause of the Bradman baby boom that ensued in Adelaide.
Wouldn't you be sad if you were a New South Wales fan?
You'd be a little sad.
What's this?
Especially if you come out there, you go and you watch South Australia versus New South Wales and Bradman's dominating.
Yeah.
You can't enjoy it because you're like, normally we used to love watching Don Bradman bat, but now it's the worst. So he has a very good summer, establishes himself. Then during the winter, the Bradman's 2-story home was finished. 2 stories.
Boy.
Donny B.
Should have gone 3, I reckon.
Why not? it was finished complete with a billiards room.
Oh.
You like a bit of pool?
I do.
So you got
Very
a bit of Donny
fun.
B in you.
Very fun. Yeah.
The billiards room was Don's favourite, especially when he entertained friends because he'd like to kick their asses.
Entertained
Yeah,
friends, Elsie?
He invited. We were just playing billiards, Jesse. We're just playing billiards. It's my. And then he invites Kipax over just to beat him.
Yeah.
I win again, Kipax. And now apparently he added the billiards room to his home after he had been at Harry Hodgett's home with Walter Lindrum one night. Don't know who's that is. Probably a famous pool player. Oh yes, he was the king of the queue.
Oh.
Walter Lindrum, famous billiards player. And he'd made a break of 100, which must be good.
Oh, yeah. Don't know what that means.
And Bradman could not match it. So Bradman, of course, was
so he
like,
wanted to get better.
So he's like, next time I meet you, I'm gonna be better.
That's something you do, Dad.
Classic, yeah, 100%. This riled his competitive spirit. Classic. Mm-hmm. According to Bill Johnson, Billy J, father of Ian Johnson, Ian J, Bradman brought a billiards table and practiced hard, non-stop. He probably quit cricket for a year.
Yeah.
I play billiards now. By July of 1936, a year later, he was able to make a break of 100. Well done, Donny B.
Good for you, bestie.
Oh, imagine accidentally beating Don Bradman at something and just knowing,
yeah.
Well, that's it. He's not going to rest until he's come back at me. Along with moving into their new home, Jessie and Don were also preparing for their first child.
Yes.
Due later in the year.
The sleigh.
Bradman had moved into test selection now because one of the test selectors had died. Dr. Dolling. Oh, R.I.P. Dr. Dolling.
Oh, dear.
Dr. Dolling dead. That was a newspaper headline.
Yeah.
So now he's become a test selector. This was something he did not particularly care for at the time. He was too busy playing pool. He's like, I've got to practice billiards. I don't have time for this selecting nonsense.
Jesse, can't you?
That's 100% what happened. So Jessie became a test selector. A Jess selector.
Yeah, in her third trimester.
Jess, the test selector in the third trimester. Test selector in the third trimester. Test selector in the third trimester.
That's got to be in the
non-existent wrap-up that we'll talk about doing and we'll never do. Can't believe I never finished Nancy Wake. I'm gutted.
We should just release what we did do, though.
Oh, no, we did.
What?
Yeah, no, we put, like, we did, like, yeah.
We did do... Did you put it out?
Yeah.
What?
On one of the, like, one of the episodes was like, here's what we've got so far.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah,
that was like years ago.
Yeah, maybe it was like in between seasons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Slay.
And we were like, we'll definitely finish it. We did not finish it. Spoilers. And now I can't remember what the hell happened.
Yeah.
I'd have to re-listen to the entire season. Because we talk a lot of nonsense.
We do. That's a long season as well.
Yeah, I mean, she got up to a lot.
Yeah.
She didn't just bloody play cricket and billiards and get her wife to do stuff for her. She lived a life, Donny B. She lived a life. Look, he was the best player.
So was I.
He drew crowds that made the game profitable, and he won the big games that gave the nation some much-needed prestige on the world stage. I just thought I'd read that out, just to reaffirm.
Yeah.
You know, he's something. He's something else. Look, that might be all we've got time for today. I shouldn't launch into the next thing.
Is that chapter 33?
We are up to chapter 33 in episode 33 of season 3. But we're not going to start chapter 33.
Just read the first word.
England.
Oh, a bit of sizzle.
They're on their way.
Bit of sizzle.
So that's where we are. The Bradmans have moved to Adelaide successfully.
Yep.
They love what's happening there. Jessie settled into doing all of Don's work. Don seems to spend most of his time playing golf or billiards and dominating
Anything but
both.
cricket. Anything but cricket.
And a little bit of cricket. No, he played a bit of cricket during the summer, just enough.
Did he?
So, he played a bit, and then Jessie played the rest.
Yeah.
In her Don, she's getting very good. To be fair, she can do Don's work at state level.
Yeah.
But at test level, I think Don has to,
Yeah.
depending on who they're playing. If they're playing, I don't know, the West Indies, probably not.
Yeah.
But we'll see. So Jessie's got a lot on her plate. Don's getting very good at recreational activities. And it looks like England are on their way.
Yeah.
So stay tuned to see what happens in a much more professional and well-organised and more coherent episode of Yonks Ago!
Actually waited for me that time.
Yeah, how was the ending? That was tight.